All right, fellas, welcome to episode 4 of the Dynasty podcast. I'm here, Panache Yashanu. I'm here with E Mac, Ethan McDonald, Trigger Trey, Mitchell. We are back again and here for a special episode. Year ahead review. See what we think is going to happen in 2024 since it is the new year. And again, happy new year to everyone. Yeah, fellas, we're rocking and rolling. We're on a bit of a groove right now.
Hey man, we're running shit up in the stream. You know what I mean? Up in the Christchurch where the weather is horrific. Actually, to be fair, I come from Auckland where I've got this amazing tan. Me and P the same color now. Coming down here and it's wet as and miserable. I have to wear a jumper. I want a jumper in 2 weeks.
Sad times, bro.
It's New Zealand, bro. You got to think about the people that went to Northern Base.
Yeah, people nearly freaking, bro.
Well, the thing is, because I was up there as well, and it was so warm, even though it was thunderous.
Humid.
It
Yuck.
was wicked.
No, it's yuck. You just sweat, bro. You just be sitting down on the couch and then you just work up a sweat.
Oh yeah, bro. That's terrible.
Disgusting.
The worst part about it is I'm a big sweater, and so my butt sweats heaps. You know,
bro. Bro's got chafing at his ass. So that's terrible.
Right. What happens when you got the big ass like me, man? You know, you just chafe out like crazy.
Bro. Oh my god. You know what? That's what they like, bro. Maybe that's why you got to get the old
skinny legs like you.
Nah, you need to get the Nike underwears, bro. That's like the ultimate. Allows the heat to seep through, bro. Your cooling is on point.
I thought you were gonna say he needs the Manscaped.
Yeah.
That would be a good plug. Manscaped sponsored every single podcast. So man,
I feel like you lost your train of thought right there, man.
No, I was gonna say I was saying Nike. The Nike underwear is good, but yeah, maybe Manscaped too, bro. You need to get some Manscaped for yourself. The lawnmower was it 2.0 that they always advertise.
I used to have the undies that breathe, and they just used to give me the itchiest ass. I don't know.
Yeah, I reckon they're worse. I reckon they're actually worse.
Bro needs to use a loofah, eh?
I might just stop wearing undies like altogether.
Criminal. Oh, Charles Barkley. That's what Charles Barkley does, you know?
Okay, Charles Barkley. I'm not going to compare myself to Charles
That's
Barkley.
because Charles Barkley can't fit in any underwear.
Crazy. That is actually... He's actually lost some weight, bro, by the way. I actually don't know but probably still can't fit. But yeah, unlucky.
He's still called the round mound of the bloody rebound.
Rebound, the board king, bro. Except, I actually wonder what he was like back in his heyday, bro. Whether or not he was, getting the mamacitas like that. Criminal. But anyway, fellas, as we look ahead into 2024, some special little topics that we want to discuss. So the first little topic that I got for us is, who do we think is going to be the first coach to get fired in 2024? It's been at the moment, what I'll say is that this is probably the longest time we've gone without a coach.
Green eggs and ham, man. Green eggs and ham is gone.
Ham sandwich.
Get that guy gone.
Ham and cheese sandwich. Is that who we think?
Who should be fired first is Monty Williams, but that's not going to happen. It's ham sham.
Ultra bag.
Ham sandwich.
Ham sandwich is gone.
And then Where's Unsold? He's got to go.
Since we all said ham sandwich, okay, so Lakers are at 35 games right now. So what I'll set the over-under at, I'll set the over-under at 30.
48.
Set the over-under at 40 and a half games. So over-under 40 and a half games, when do you think Darvin Ham will be sacked?
40 and a half.
Maybe over 40. Over 40.
Wait, what are they at? 35 games now.
So they've played 35 games because they're 17 and 18. So I'm saying over 40 and a half games. When will he be sacked?
Over 40 and a half.
Over. There's got to be more than 6 games.
I'm saying under.
They just changed the lineup though, so they want to see how that lineup works first, probably.
I'm saying under.
You reckon he's going to get sacked next week?
I think they lose to the Grizzlies tomorrow. I think the Grizzlies pump them badly. Not pump them. Okay, I'm not saying pump them, but they lose to the Grizzlies tomorrow. And then I think that puts them on the hot seat. And then one more loss next week. I think that's game over. And I think they'll be at about 39 games. So I think he's got 4 games left and he'll be sacked.
Holy.
Bro, you got to remember, you're in LA, man. Jeannie Buss is running a tight ship there. LeBron's 39 years old. There's no more time to waste. There's no more, next year is when we'll do it. And plus, LeBron's got a player option, which means if this ship isn't looking so good, he can opt out. And especially at age 39, like, I mean, how much money do you need, bro? From NBA contracts, at least. I'll go out there and try to win another championship if I'm LeBron. So they could easily lose LeBron this offseason. So there's no more time to really waste. So I think that's why Darvin Ham's he's a short leash, I think.
Yeah, but he's gone. He's gone.
So Darvin
I just
Ham's
don't think it'll be. I just don't think it'll be this upcoming week. It's pretty quick, but we'll soon see.
That's
he
wild
deserves
how
to be
we
sacked
all
for sure.
unanimous though. That's crazy. I mean, there was
There's
only
also-
one option.
It could be, but Steve Clifford maybe could probably get fired because the Hornets are
What's
shit.
that? Hornets.
Yeah, Hornets are no good.
Yeah, but the Hornets, you just go out and get Wemby now, don't you?
What year is Clifford? Is this his second year or first year with the Hornets? Again, well, he was there before, but like this new 10-year hit. Is this his second year?
The second year, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he'll make it to at least end of the season. And plus that team's not really going anywhere because I think with LaMelo Ball being injured a lot, there wasn't really the opportunity for him to really showcase what he was like. So I think
the rest of the players haven't been developed that well. They have that. It's not like they have a bad team without LaMelo. Like they've got
defensively,
they've got Hayward, they've got Washington, they've got Rozier. It's not a bad team. Like LaMelo obviously puts the icing on the cake, but there's a decent core there that he can still work with, and they're 8-24 or something. Like
yeah. That's the real question. Should they have more than 8 wins?
I think so.
They absolutely should have more than 8 wins.
I think that's just on defense, man.
I feel like there's so many teams this year with below 10 wins that, like, compared to other years. Is this the dominant?
Even
dominant
Wes
teams are
Unseld,
dominating. Wes Unseld is got to go.
Job, should he be losing his job this year?
He should be.
Yeah, because they traded for Jordan Poole, they got Kuzma. Like they should be better than what they are.
And that's the thing, like these guys aren't the main problem I see for most of these teams that we're talking about is really defense. These guys can score, but they suck defensively. Like the Hornets, ever since they got LaMelo Ball, have just been a revolving door. Anything gets through, anything gets out.
LaMelo Ball's not a defensive player.
Who?
LaMelo Ball's not a defensive player.
But he's got capabilities. He's 6'7", and he's athletic. He's got long. He can play defense. He just does no effort. He's lazy. That's always been the problem.
So
and no coach holds him accountable.
Would be better with him not playing.
Because you look at there was a stat that came out they were playing the other day, and it was like their record without LaMelo Ball, with LaMelo Ball over the last 2 seasons, 18 and 33, and then when he doesn't play, I think it's barely just under. It's like 16 and 42 or something. So it's not that much better or that much worse without LaMelo. And it's just because when LaMelo goes out, Terry Rozier just does exactly what LaMelo Ball does, which is get a bunch of points, get a bunch of stats that don't actually mean anything because the actual problem is that they're lazy. They're all lazy. They don't play defense.
Like PJ Washington, I thought was going to be a pretty good defensive player. Like when he started maturing a little bit, he's gone downhill fast. Like he's terrible.
Bro, as soon as Miles Bridges came back, I dropped his ass.
Yeah, because I think Miles Bridges is clear number 2 now. Eh? Oh, yeah, 2. You'd say sure.
Yeah.
Oh man,
he's been playing good.
Yeah, I know. I know that. I know that his ex-wife is like.
He should be playing prison basketball right now, but somehow he's still in the NBA.
I know. I think they're making a movie about him. I think they've made one before. I think Longest Yard is what it's called. I think they're making Longest Yard Part 2 featuring Miles Bridges. So yeah, except basketball version, so that'll be good.
Yeah, I think he's there's one that was come out a few years ago, and they had Samuel L. Jackson as like the lead character. Was it? And he was in Miles Bridges. He was. I think they called him in that movie called Cruise or something.
Get off it.
Talking about Coach Carter.
He's talking about Coach Carter. Oh, lolza. Oh man, but that's good. I mean, fascinating. Leads us into next one. Next superstar to be traded. Next superstar to be
superstar. There's only about 5 superstars. What about
Pascal Siakam?
Next star, next all-star or NBA guy to be traded.
Laurie.
Larry
Markkinen.
Okay. This is the one where I think we might get some separation. No one's going to be the same, I think.
Well, what about Jordan Clarkson? Is he classified as a star?
No, he's never made All NBA.
Oh, so we're going off all NBA. So if
All
you made
NBA or
NBA,
All
you're a
Star
star.
is our reference point. You have to be an All NBA or All Star.
Pascal Siakam.
Okay, I'm gonna say DeJounte Murray is who I think is going to be next. So Pascal
Kuz isn't a star, but he's probably up there.
Kuz is like a really good role player. That's what we'll put him as.
D'Angelo Russell as well.
He's been averaging over. He's a perennial all star, so you could say D'Angelo Russell.
D'Lo. Okay, so that means it might be. So we've got. So are you changing your thing then? If D'Lo is classified as one, since he has been an All Star.
No,
I reckon he just gets waived. I don't think he gets traded. He gets waived.
no, there's too much money at stake there. They're going to trade him.
Yeah.
He can walk out the door holding hands with Darvin Ham.
Darvin Ham and cheese sandwich might be walking out the door with his favorite son. Nah, but sure. So you're saying, yeah, I think Siakam, Murray, Markkanen are all legit ones because I mean, it just comes like who we think is first because who's going to pull the trigger? Because I think the Raptors.
Well, the Raptors have already pulled the trigger once. They're going to do it again.
Who?
The Raptors have pulled the trigger literally last week. They're going to do it again.
But I think it's going to take the Raptors a lot longer to find the deal that fits for Siakam because I think they overvalue him purely because he's won a championship and he's what? Yeah, he's still
Raptors are notoriously hard to trade with though. Everyone knows that
because the Hawks are going to want somebody in return for DeJounte Murray, and then the Jazz are going to want somebody in return plus picks, whereas the Raptors are going to want picks. They're not going to want somebody in return because they've just done that. They're going to want picks. So it's like, are you willing to give up a star for Murray and Markkanen or somebody like that up and coming, or are you just going to trade picks?
But the problem is that Ujiri is so hard to negotiate with, and he's gonna look at the Gobert trade and say, "Oh, he got 7 picks." Obviously, you're not gonna get 7 picks, first round picks, but he's gonna look at it and say, "Oh, maybe we can get 4 or 5 first round picks for Siakam," which I think is absolutely ludicrous. No team should do that. That's a terrible deal. But I think that's what's going to be hard to negotiate, the amount of first rounders that you give up, because I think they're going to want significantly more than what's actually realistic.
I think Siakam for 3 firsts and a second or 2, or pick swaps or something, will be pretty good.
You also need to look at it like what team is going to give up. So they do give up 5 first round picks. What team is going to go from that mid second round team to a championship contender by adding Siakam?
The Hawks.
Nah.
Maybe Mavs. I think max potential for the Mavs. I've still got them conference finals because I think no one's beating the Nuggets. So I'd say the only team that could make a massive leap.
No one beating the Nuggets. Have you been watching basketball the last few weeks?
It's regular season. I don't care. Like I said, the Clippers can do whatever they want. It doesn't mean anything because I know
it's not about the Clippers. It's about other times playing the Nuggets. The Nuggets.
No team.
No. Pick teams are figuring out how to defend Jokic.
No, they haven't.
They have. Look at his shooting percentage of the last 3 weeks.
Oh my God, he's had a bad spell. He's had a bad spell. No one ever.
Aaron Gordon was in and out the lineup. Jamal Murray missed 6 weeks. Every time another star has a bad spell, you're like, oh, he's just slum. He's no good. Whatever. Jokic has a bad spell. You're like, oh, shit, he can be fine. It's like, value them the same, man. Jokic is not just having a bad spell. He just can't get past some of these teams now because defensively the schemes are better on him. And he's got no other stars that are doing the job outside of him. So the Nuggets, once they lose Jokic, have got nothing. And it's quite obvious that that's what's happening. But you're like, no, it's just a bad spell. He'll get better. No, he won't. They need something.
What, you think Jokic is done for?
Jamal Murray is a bum. And Aaron Gordon is a bum.
This is coming from a Clippers fan.
Jackson.
This is coming from a Clippers fan.
How? I don't see the Nuggets.
How can you? You can never count out the fucking reigning champions.
Brother, I don't think it. Like I said, I think What? Who's beating the Nuggets? And I'm talking about, bro, right now, what's happened? It's just everyone's been in and out the lineup. They just haven't had the opportunity to string together a bunch of games with the starters. As the season goes along, they're going to get that opportunity. And
What? So
who in the West is beating the
you
Nuggets?
think just because they've been injured at the start of the year, they're not going to be injured at the end of the year?
Yeah, come end of the year, once they get a bit of continuity again, they're like, who's beating the Nuggets? Please tell me one
Do
team.
you think the Clippers are going to beat the Nuggets?
Absolutely.
Do you think the Clippers will beat the Nuggets?
How do you defend the Clippers? You don't.
How do you defend Jokic? You
the
put
Mavericks keep going
Paul
the way they're
George.
going. The Mavericks will even beat the Nuggets.
What?
The OKC is going to beat the Nuggets.
The Nuggets ran the same place six
the T-Wolves
times.
are going to beat the Nuggets.
What?
I think the T-Wolves are probably the only competition for the Nuggets, I reckon.
Yeah, T-Wolves are the only team with enough size to beat the Nuggets. Because you're only thinking about the size to defend Jokic. You're acting as if guys like MPJ, Jamal Murray, Aaron, like these guys aren't good. These guys are still good players. They play off Jokic, but they're still good players.
We know Jokic can put 50 on Gobert. He's put 47 on him before.
Okay, cool, but it's different in the playoffs, man. And
exactly.
I,
And who shows up
what
in the
you're saying
playoffs?
is the
but
exact
the
reason
Nuggets
why they're not
the
going to
Nuggets
lose
have got no one else. They got Jokic and no one else. Jamal Murray's no good this year. Aaron Gordon, he keeps getting bitten by dogs. He's
Jamal Murray.
Jamal
Murray will step up in the playoffs.
Horrific. MPJ plays so well in the first quarter, and then he just falls asleep.
Ethan, you think so? We've all watched the playoffs before, right? So we're saying that ultimate always flop all the time. James Harden is magically going to surprise us. Paul George always flop all the time in the playoffs. Is going to surprise us.
No. PG side of the backboard is going to carry them to the championship.
See, the thing is, you guys are looking at it like from the past, like what's happened in the past. It's a completely different teams, completely different situation. James Harden and Paul George have always been the first or the second option coming into the playoffs. This year, they're probably equal third options.
How many years has the Clippers been together? 4 years.
It's completely different. For the Clippers, and then the Nuggets is different too. People are figuring out how to defend Jokic. People are figuring out that Murray plays off the back of that well, so they're trying to stop him from scoring the ball. MPJ is real good in the first quarter, doesn't play anywhere else. Aaron Gordon is going downhill fast. There's no the Nuggets. I think are gonna underwhelm. And you guys are I don't reckon.
The past is the best predictor of the future. What you show me in the past is what I'm most likely is. If, let's say, for example, if James Harden and Paul George are rookies, I'd be like, oh, you know what? Maybe they've grown. They'll show me something different. These guys have both been to the playoffs 5+ times, and every single time, the exact same thing has happened. Every single time. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change.
But the last time the Clippers went to the playoffs, Paul George was completely different. He was averaging 30 a game. So are you going to rule that out?
When the Clippers went to the playoffs last time.
Are you going to rule that out?
What happened?
When have the Clippers ever done anything good in the playoffs?
Okay, the history is meant to be rewritten, and they're going to do that this year.
No,
the Nuggets
it's not going to happen.
Stop overvaluing the Nuggets, man.
If anything, we're overvaluing the Clippers to even say the Clippers even have it. The Clippers are not beating the Nuggets. No,
you're riding off the Nuggets after they won the championship last year.
Yeah,
and it's pretty much the same team minus Bruce Brown, which I think they've been fine without.
I think we look at it right now, right? Okay, let's look
at it. The Nuggets has got stronger, and the Nuggets haven't changed. If anything, they got weaker without Bruce Brown.
The Clippers would play the Kings right now in the first round. Okay, so let's say, for example, the Clippers probably win that series, right? Was what we're saying? Yeah. Okay. So that means the Clippers would play Minnesota in the second round, which would be ultimate series because it comes down. That's going to be small ball versus big bully ball. That's what that series is going to be. Whose version wins? If we're talking about right now, I would say that the Clippers can win that series. So I'd say the Clippers are going to conference finals, right? Which means
the Nuggets have to play.
So Nuggets right now would play the Pelicans. They beat the Pelicans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then if they're third seed, let's say OKC was second seed, OKC won against the current seventh seed, the Mavericks. That means it'll be Nuggets versus OKC in a 7-game series. I've got
where's the T-Wolves?
T-Wolves the first. They would be playing the Clippers in the second round. So we've got OKC versus Nuggets in the second round. That's what we'd have. We're taking the Nuggets, right? Or no? Anyone?
Yeah, I got Nuggets. They got the experience. Jokic.
Yeah, the experience I think would win that series, but I think there would be a 7-game.
It'll be a 7-gamer purely because the only
Playoff Murray,
why I
man.
think the Nuggets are going to win the series against the Clippers, but the reason why I think the Nuggets would win that series is because of experience, which takes us to a conference finals of Nuggets and Clippers. Where are 4 of those games going to be played? In Denver. You're not winning in Denver. I don't care who you are. You're just not going to do that. No chance.
I don't even see the Clippers beating the T-Wolves.
Well, I just wanted to say that to be nice, but I don't think they're going to do it.
Oh
I just wanted to be
my God.
nice and be fair.
Oh my God. You guys are funny.
You're just so biased on the Clippers.
Yeah, 100% biased. But also, I'm looking at it from like a perspective of actually the Nuggets and how they're going to go. The Nuggets, like, if it was going to happen this way right now, then they would probably make the conference finals, and it's against the Clippers or the T-Wolves. And I don't think they're going to beat one of those sides. But let's just say later on in the year, if they had to play the T-Wolves earlier on, or even the Lakers earlier on, if the Lakers make it or something like that, I don't think they're getting past those teams. Like, I just genuinely don't think the Nuggets have got it in them this year again. They don't look like the same team.
But buyout market as well. That's one thing we have to remember. When the buyout market comes, where players going to go? Like, I think the Nuggets are still going to be a number 1 team, number 1 option for players to go. Like, if you want to win a championship, I would go to the team that just won.
I'm ruling it on now. You're ruling it on buyout market if they can pick somebody.
No,
Like,
I'm talking about buyout markets in the playoffs because, like I said, the best predictor of the future is what's happened in the past. And what I've seen in the past from every single player in the Clippers, not named Kawhi Leonard, is choke jobs after choke jobs, which tells me what's going to happen in the playoffs is another choke job from those guys. It's inevitable to happen. That's who the Clippers, not who the Clippers are. It's who Paul George is. It's who Kawhi Leonard is. To a certain degree, maybe it's who Russell Westbrook is. I actually haven't seen him in the playoffs. I mean, last time they were there properly and he got to play big minutes. Last year he played some decent minutes, but when he was the number 1 guy, but when he was up there with the Rockets, when they got knocked out in the bubble, that was, same thing. They lost to a big team like the Rockets. I mean, but like I said, he plays good in the playoffs, but those other 2 guys, they don't. And that tells me that what's going to happen in the playoffs against the Nuggets. But it is agreed. We shall see. As we say, we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Next one. What is the next big improvement or update you would like to see in the NBA? Because I know this season we had the in-season tournament. What's something else going forward that we'd like to see come in to, spice things up in the NBA a little bit?
I like what JJ Redick said the other day. We got to stop the baby races at halftime. No one wants to see it.
Why? Come on, bro. I like a bit of baby racing. You surely put some bets on it. That's what would make the market even bigger than that.
Nah, I just had to put it out there. I heard JJ Redick say it the other day.
No, who would you go? I would go like the next big improvement to the league. Next big improvement. I don't want to say 4-point line. I feel like that's too generic. Everyone says 4-point line. That's too much. What would you
rid
want to be added in?
You could yeah, it's interesting because you don't want to put something in that's going to change the game of basketball too much.
Yeah.
But like you could do like, in cricket, how they've got like a power play and like for like 5 overs or something, you can like have more fielders outside of whatever the case may be. But like maybe in basketball, you can do like a power play and it's only available in the first quarter, and then it's for 2 minutes and both sides get one. And you can so as soon as you activate a power play, you have one player more than the other team for 2 minutes.
Oh, that
is the worst thing I've ever heard.
But like, it's an idea. We're throwing out ideas, Trey.
Yeah.
This is the whole meaning of it.
You just said you don't want to change the game of basketball.
No, but I don't want to change the game of basketball. But like the next thing is going to change the game of basketball. So like, might as well throw some ideas out that are going to potentially look at changing the game. Like 4-point line. You don't think that's going to make Steph Curry, Trae Young, those boys so much more valuable?
I was thinking more like around the league, not like in terms of the game itself.
No, you can do game all around the league. Like, game all around the league. Up to you. My main one is I've always had the same one. I think it should be the best 16 all up, not conference-wise, because there's instances where you just got teams that just like, especially on the East is horrible. Like you see the West, how stacked that is. The West, for example, the Lakers, the Suns, or even the Rockets could miss out on the playoffs this season. Or even the Pelicans could potentially miss out on not even just the playoffs, the play in. The Grizzlies are going to miss out on the play in the season. Obviously, I know they missed out for the first 25, but going forward, traditionally the Grizzlies have been a 45 to 50 win team over the last couple of years. You need the best 16 in there. Not the East is just an embarrassment. If you're good enough to be top 8 in your conference, you should be good enough to be top 16 overall.
I think it's to do with the East and West conferences is to do with the travel, though, isn't it? Because you play everyone inside your own division 4 times. You play everyone in your own conference 3 times. And everyone
Yeah, no,
outside your
that's
own
travel during the regular
conference
season, but I'm talking about overall. Like come playoff time, it should just be the best 16. It would maybe you make some slight changes to regular, but yeah, overall, I think it should be the best 16.
Is that fair though? Like, I don't know. Because what if you're in a real bad division, or a real good division, but you're a top 16? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, see, I don't find it fair either because like you never have to play yourself. So, for example, the Celtics never have to play the Celtics because obviously it's impossible to obviously play yourself. But like they don't have to play the best team in the competition, which is them.
Yeah, it's more so about the division, because you see, like, for example, the Bucks' division. Do they have the Pistons? I think they might. Yeah, so for example, someone who's in that Pistons division, you got 4 automatic wins, right? So you'd probably have to adjust the amount of games played against your division. You can keep the same. I think against everyone else, you probably need to balance it out a little bit more. So the times, where some teams you can play them 4 times, some teams you can play them 3 times. All I'll do is switch it so that you play everyone outside your division twice. If your division's the only one you play 4 times. Outside your division, you adjust it to be twice, or even how many other teams is that? 29.
Like
6.
you look at the Southeast Division. If you're a good team in the Southeast Division, so it's Miami, Orlando, Atlanta, Charlotte, and Wizards. Like Miami's got fucking. Miami could get 16 wins if they beat every team.
Yeah, and then as well, if you look at the Clippers, Kings, Suns, Lakers, Warriors division.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. You can't win as many
Yeah.
games. But as
I
I'm
mean,
saying,
even the T-Wolves,
adjust it.
Thunder, Nuggets, Jazz, and Blazers.
Yeah, they got the top 3 in the West in the same
Yeah,
division.
like, yeah, you can't do that.
You just have to adjust the logistics. That's the only thing I think. But it's just not. It doesn't make sense to have some of these teams in there who are just horrible. Like, why are you in the playoffs? You're just lucky because first of all, you're lucky there's the play-in, and you're lucky because you're playing the East, where the East just sucks. Everyone's
What about a relegation?
The owners, yeah, that's like one I think would be good. Like how they do it in Europe, in like the English Premier League, not just English Premier League, all the other leagues in Europe, like for football. That's good. I think that's what
Like you just run it with like potentially the G League or maybe an outside team from like the NBL.
Nah, you gotta leave it, I reckon. Yeah, the NBA is the NBA. You don't want these Americans calling themselves fucking world champions.
The only reason why that wouldn't work is because like it's so the way that you sell the NBA, you sell it as like the NBA, because it would be hard for someone to go, if I'm a TV network like ESPN, why would I be like, oh, why would I stream a game of NBA Division 2? But I like the idea of relegation. I think they need it. It's just the problem is that people would go, oh, actually, Grizzlies versus Hawks today, Division 2 game. Why they're streaming out ESPN or ESPN? But they need something like that to incentivize teams to not be so shit at. To develop better.
It'd be hard. There's enough basketball talent around to be able to do it. Like considering what when I said before, you're having like John Wall, Kemba Walker, all those guys. They probably aren't the greatest players, but there's enough talent there to be able to like that aren't around in the league at the moment to be able to create a decent team, especially with a bunch of young fellas. Like there's enough people to do that. That they could definitely organize another team, especially in another place, that could, because they're looking at putting another one back in Seattle, aren't they?
Yeah, Seattle and Vegas at the
In
moment.
Vegas.
2 teams.
So it'll be interesting to see if they potentially look to put another couple of teams in, or potentially have a couple of maybe create a relegation kind of thing from that.
Expansion's what the next big thing in the NBA's book, isn't it? Like it's been talked about for years.
Yeah, especially in Vegas. Like Vegas, I think, and it's Vegas purely because it's Vegas. Vegas has got so many teams that have now come there, like the Raiders in the NFL. They've had the Aces in WNBA. They're getting the Athletics in baseball. There's one other franchise going there. So Vegas is 100% in Seattle because they got the best fans, I'd say.
Or even was it North Virginia? Was it wanted to relocate, but the NBA told them no. The capital city needs a team.
Yeah, I think Seattle, Vegas is easy. And then I think in future you might even get so you might even get like another team in Canada or maybe a team even in Mexico.
I think Canada do need another
team. Big one, I think.
Put a team in Vancouver or something.
Yeah, Vancouver, because they had the Grizzlies before. I think they've shown that they've got good enough fans there to support a team if they come there.
So you add 2 more teams. How many games does it add into your season?
I shouldn't add any.
Nah, not add games. I think you just reduce, because remember how they play some other teams outside of the division 4 times, or they play other teams 3 times. You just remove those games. Yeah,
just make that 2.
Yeah, and then boom, you're good to go.
It's like 82 games is a long season, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you can keep 82 games with 32 teams. It probably makes it a little bit easier. You play more teams, but you play other teams less times.
You could have longer breaks between games as well. Not as many back-to-backs in there.
Could you play, yeah. Or even the other one I'd like to see is what was I going to say for the other one? Oh my gosh, as if I've just forgotten what my great NBA idea was. When I remember it's going to pop up. But it was life-changing. It was actually life-changing. But that's good. I mean, if any of those changes got implemented, I think it would be fun. It would be just change up. But I think the only thing is logistics for some of our ideas.
Like, for example, the one I said about the like a power play. We have like one extra player for like that period of time. It makes it so much harder, but it would be so fun. Like, because imagine you start a game off, it's what the one side does, and they're up by like 20 points, and then you just look, we'll do our power play now, and then it's just like it's back to like close again or something. That would be kind of fun. Also terrible, but kind of fun.
This is my idea about the salary cap. So if you draft a player, you know how some teams can end up stacked with so many good players. And then, like, if you develop them well enough, it shouldn't, when you sign them to a max contract, it shouldn't account as much to the salary cap because you've developed them. It's not like you've gone out there and been like the Lakers who just go sign every single big name. If you draft a player and you develop them and they become a superstar, like the Celtics have done with Tatum and Jaylen Brown, that shouldn't take up so much of your salary cap. Like, why am I getting punished for being so good at developing players? It's just unfair.
I feel like
that's so much easier for the big teams to do. Because then the big teams who have more money floating around the joint can just still go out and sign players on top of that and use the spare money to get better talent.
No. I'm not talking about signing. You can only. So what I'm saying is, that only applies to drafted players. So you have to draft that player and develop them to that level. So let's say I get lucky and I draft 4 guys who would just end up being all superstars. Instead of getting to them all their contract years, now all of a sudden I can't re-sign all 4 because the salary cap's gonna screw me. I can sign all 4, but their max contract money I don't take on the full amount. Let's say 25% is taken off. So what their max contract is, no, you still pay it, but it doesn't apply to the salary cap. Like that 25% hit doesn't apply to salary cap. So let's say someone's getting paid $50 million a year. What the extra salary cap is going to show is $40 million per year. So we can take 20% off there. We'll say 20%. Because it incentivizes team to develop from within, so that you don't have instances where teams like where I got this from was NRL. Ethan, you know this. Penrith Panthers for the last few years in the NRL Rugby League have dominated. They've built up an absolute just incredible, talent funnel that's coming in from their young squads. And now they're getting to a point where they've lost over the last 4 or 5 years 7, 8 key players. They're getting punished for developing well. So in the NBA, for example, the Celtics will get it because now it's going to be difficult for them to build around Tatum and Brown because they're going to be on such large contracts. But how's that their fault? The Lakers, the Pistons have all messed up top 3 picks. The Celtics got it right, developed them right. Why they're getting punished, for doing this.
See, I like that idea. I do, but the problem is that it doesn't. I don't think it matters as much because the NBA owners just pay salary tax or whatever it is, the luxury tax on top of it, and and just do that when they've got too much money sitting on the roster. Whereas in the NRL, you don't have a luxury tax. You have to fit within the boundaries of the salary of whatever the max amount is. So there's none of that wiffle waffle about like, oh, but we can do this or do that and whatever. Because when you sign someone on a max extension, whatever the extension is over the top or player option to match it, team option to match it, it doesn't matter. It doesn't actually affect the amount of money on your salary. You can actually just pay the luxury tax and you get away with it. Whereas NRL, you can't. There's no luxury tax to pay. You have to fit within the 13 million or whatever it is for all of your players. So if they're going to implement that type of rule, they need to actually have that you can't actually pay a luxury tax then, because then it just incentivizes you to go, as I said, you can have your younger players and sign them 25% less or whatever it is on your salary, but then you can use the leftover of that 25% to go sign a big name and just run it under the luxury tax.
But it's the penalties now. The penalties now are way more. That's why you see only guys like Steve Ballmer can, like, the penalties that you're getting for being in the luxury tax now are now crazier than what they were before. Because now that's why the NBA is kind of encouraging teams to only, you can't have, like, they kind of wants to get away from that big 3 era. Yeah. So what I'm meaning is, with that luxury tax, if you take on so many of those guys, or like if you have, like I said, not many owners are willing to pay that big of a luxury tax bill unless you're a Steve Ballmer, unless you're Mark Cuban's gone now. Mark Cuban was able to do that. Not many people, want to take on that massive expense.
Yeah, fair. But it also, like, if you start doing what you're saying and having more of that coming in, there's more owners and the way that the owners are selling at the moment and then making the money and stuff, people are going to see how much money you're making by owning a team for a few years and selling it off or selling partial shares in a team. So you're going to have more expensive owners, more richer fellas that are going to be coming in and be like, we want a team now. We're going to start running it. And so you're going to have that luxury tax still, like, it's still going to exist because you can have people like Steve Ballmer who are worth, 90 billion that are going to be coming in and buying more teams. I don't see it, like, I do see it as a way to help, but I also don't see it as a way that's going to fix the issue. You need to get rid of the luxury tax to be able to have this, like, incentive where if you're training all your players and building them up, that you can actually reduce your cap hit or something.
Yeah, no, that's a fair point. That's fair. As we roll into the next discussion is where are our 2024 unrestricted and restricted free agents going to land? So I'm going to read out some names for you, some notable. This is only the notable ones. We'll start off with the unrestricted notable free agents. So we've got James Harden for the Clippers. We've got DeMar DeRozan from the Bulls, Klay Thompson from the Warriors, Tobias Harris, 76ers, and then Pascal Siakam, currently Raptors. So all these guys that we've talked about are guys who were potentially discussed for being in trades, but are all going to be unrestricted free agents. Where do we think they're going to land?
Is Kristaps not one? No.
Nah, Kristaps still got 2 more years left on his deal.
I don't think DeRozan's going to resign. He's going to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
he's going to want to go to a contender. He wants to get a ring.
Yeah.
And I think he wants to go somewhere where he can be second or third option, where he doesn't have to be the main guy.
I don't know why. I reckon he'd like Miami. He seems like a sort of player to go to Miami.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Probably because Kyle Lowry's booty cheeks is there, and
it's probably it makes sense because he can go be the third option or even the fourth option behind Tyler Herro, maybe.
Yeah,
I think that's a good destination for him because if you look at it, I don't see any other teams that can sort of fit a guy like DeMar. I feel like so many other teams, the way that they've got their stars lined up, they want guys who can kind of bounce in there and be able to be 3-point shooters.
The Knicks,
a team that they take on any and every star. Like, for example, Kevin Love, he can shoot the 3, but he's terrible defender. But they found a way to fit him in that lineup. Goran Dragic when he was there. It wasn't great effort defensively, but they found a way to fit him in as well. He's a great offensive piece. Kyle Lowry's declined offensively, but he's still able to contribute to them defensively, still able to be a good, passer. They find a way to fit you in. I feel like, Eric Spoelstra and Heat culture is probably best destination for him, for me, at least. Oh, me and Ethan, what we said. How about you, Trey?
I said Heat.
Oh, Heat. Oh, so you're bro, DeMar DeRozan. You are
No, I was the one that said Heat first.
DeMar DeRozan, you're going to Miami Heat. You've got no choice now.
You have to go.
Yeah.
Make us feel right, and then we're kind of good at our job.
Now we look smart. Next one, James Harden. He's currently on the Clippers, and then obviously he said that could be looking for a max deal, right? That's what he wanted when he was on the Sixers. But do you think? I think his one is dependent on what happens with the Clippers. But I think
and it's also dependent on what Kawhi and Paul George do,
because they both have player options. Yeah. Far out. That team is in such limbo, bro. Because if they don't win this year, oh Lord, they're screwed.
But also they've got, because Russell's there as well, and Harden and Russell get on pretty well. So it is dependent on what happens this year, and independent if all four of them want to stay in LA.
Where's the best clubs?
Miami.
James Harden's in Miami.
James Harden's
they're going to put a team in Vegas next year, and Harden will be there.
Harden will be there.
Bro.
Harden will
where's Harden, bro? I think, oh my God, brother, you almost have to say the Clippers. Like, what other team needs a two guard who's going to be 34 years old and wants a max deal? If he still wants a max deal, that's probably a key as well. Does he still want that max deal?
I'm just throwing in the works of Lakers. Why not? He's probably thinking, why not?
That's dependent on LeBron.
Because LeBron's got a player option as well for $51 million. Does he cash it in, or does he say, you know what, maybe I restructure, or does he leave the Lakers as a whole?
Is Bronny going to declare?
That's true. Will Bronny? That's why he did the contract that way, so he could opt out and go join Bronny. But Bronny doesn't look like he's going to be in the draft at the moment or opt in. He could,
yes,
but
he is,
I mean,
isn't he?
What's that?
Isn't he? I thought he was like going for the draft this year.
He's on the bench for USC, bro. There's no way he should declare.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's a different scenario because LeBron's his father, and LeBron did say if wherever Bronny gets drafted to is where I'll go. But I think it just seems pretty unrealistic because he had the heart attack. He's coming off the bench. He's good numbers off the bench, but not numbers I'd be like, oh man, I'm spending my top 10 pick on that.
He did have like cardiac arrest.
What is that?
A while back. He did have like a cardiac arrest not that long ago.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think it's just too soon for him to be thinking.
Sorry, that's what a heart attack is.
Yeah.
He just want to be more technical. He just want to use the actual terminology, you know?
Doctor returns, man. What are you? Got a PhD, do you?
That's what he's been doing with his time this holiday, bro.
I do have a pretty huge check. Thank you for asking.
Damn, that is bro. You've done well.
That
one.
That is the biggest lie I've ever heard.
I never heard that one before, actually. So congratulations, man. You surprised me on that.
Oh, he asked if I had a PhD, and certainly do.
So what are we saying? So James Harden, or I'm gonna say.
I think you'll stay.
I'm gonna say them. Let me just look at the teams.
Honestly, I don't think it matters. No, Morky. He's gonna team up with Giannis.
Nah, I'm saying James Harden is going to the New York Knicks.
Yeah. Right. You're not very smart, are you?
James Harden's going to the Knicks. Because I think that
it was too cold in New York for James Harden.
Bro, New York. Hey, Stephen A. Smith said it best. New York needs a star, and James Harden is a star. As much as everyone hates to admit it, he is a star.
He's a star at the bloody strip club.
Yeah, I guess, bro, New York's a good place for it, man.
Where's Lil Baby live?
Is Lil Baby in Atlanta? Could be.
So he's saying
he's teaming up with Trae Young.
Clippers are going to sign and trade James Harden for DeJounte Murray. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I think that all the Clippers players, I think the Clippers get knocked out in the second round, and all of them leave. That's my prediction. Which we'll get to when you do our bold predictions. But yeah, I'm just gonna say my bold prediction now. I've been sitting on this for a long time, and I'm sick of holding it in. The Clippers are done this year. The Clippers will be knocked out in the second round by the Minnesota Timberwolves or whoever's the first seed, and then Kawhi Leonard will opt out. Paul George will opt out. Russell Westbrook will not opt into his play option. Harden's obviously his last year anyway, and the Clippers are done because they'll have no one to trade. There you go.
Clippers will sell the team.
And the worst thing about it is that Steve Barber's going to open up his new arena that he wanted to open up with all three of these big pillars, and he's going to have no one. He's going to open up that new arena with Terrence Mann as a star.
And Zoo Blocker.
There you go. And I can't wait to see it because that's what you get.
I hate both of you right now.
That's what you get for trading everything.
I hate both of you.
And Ethan, we're gonna be seeing the video of Ethan burning that hat because he is no longer a Clippers
I'll tell you
fan.
right now, if that ends up happening, I'm never supporting the Clippers again. I'm done.
Clippers are gone.
Hey, us Wizards
If
need
that
more
happens, I'm
fans.
gonna go support the Spurs.
Oh,
Nah,
I'm gonna
man.
jump on the
you-
Wembanyama bandwagon, and I'm gonna be a Spurs supporter for the rest of my life.
That's fair. Wemby bandwagon's gonna be hot for the next couple of years, though. So that's pretty vibes. I like that.
You can come be a Wizards fan, and we're gonna draft
I'm not a
topic.
Wizards fan either. I would genuinely prefer to pull all my teeth out than be a Wizards fan.
Yeah, you actually have to support Wes Unseld, the worst coach in the league.
Okay.
Yeah, but the funny part about
I'd rather
it
be
is
a
he'd still be
Wizards
the best
fan
player
than
on
a
that team.
Pistons. I'd rather be a
Yeah, that's
Wizards
fair.
fan than a Pistons fan.
That's fair.
Yeah, well,
Like, imagine being a Pistons fan.
That's me when LeBron retires. Yeah. No, but so we all agree, right? So we say, well, no, we didn't all agree, but I said the Knicks. What else you guys got? Who else has got another location for James Harden?
I got either the Bucks or the Hawks.
Okay. And then EMAC, what you got for him?
I reckon he's gonna stay.
Okay. So he's staying a Clipper, which takes us on to the guy who was supposedly the second best shooting guard behind James Harden over all those years, Klay Thompson. Where do you think Klay Thompson's going to go?
He's gonna sign
The-
a vet minimum on the Denver Nuggets.
He's gonna sign with the Delaware 36ers.
He's going to sign with the Sydney Kings in the NBL.
He's
gonna sign with the Indiana Mad Ants.
G League Ignite. Klay Thompson. I think Klay Thompson goes to a team that's not very good and it's going to overpay for a shooting guard who's washed up. They need someone to partner next to another backcourt guy. So I think Klay Thompson is going to the
Detroit Pistons.
I got Charlotte Hornets. I think they're going to overpay for him for no reason at all.
Detroit Pistons.
I reckon the Washington Mystics.
Oh, he's going to play with Caitlin Clark next year when she gets drafted first?
Yeah.
Crazy. So we're saying Charlotte Hornets. He's going to be a team that overpays for no reason.
Detroit Pistons.
Detroit Pistons? Yeah, I can see that as well. It's going to be a bad team. It will be a bad team without a doubt.
Yeah.
Hornets.
I reckon the Clippers.
The Hornets have done that already with Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Why don't they do it again?
That's what I see it being exactly like.
And Jeremy Lin.
Think, oh, he's going to be nice without a team, and he's kind of washed up. And I think that's what's going to happen with Klay.
Jeremy Lin.
Nah, Jeremy Lin was just insanity. He was never good after that.
He played with Cody Bryant.
And look where he is now.
Did.
No, I was talking about Jeremy Lin.
Oh,
wow! Look at this guy. This is a real good person as well.
Well, he
Crazy.
tore his freaking ACL, and then that was just it.
And then we move on to Tobias Harris. I feel like the Sixers have been trying to move Tobias Harris for like this entire contract, and now they finally get the ability to get off that contract. Finally,
they're
I reckon he's staying.
They're going to re-sign Tobias Harris on $10 million a year for 2 years.
I think he's gonna get a team option deal. I think he's got 15. I think 2 years, 30 is what I think he's. Well, actually, no. If Draymond can get 20 million a year, I think Tobias can get 20 million as well. I think Tobias on a 2-year, $40 million deal, play option in the second year.
Oh yeah, I reckon Toby's staying.
Yeah, Toby staying. Which takes us to the man that's probably the hardest one to pick, Siakam, just because we all think he's gonna get traded. So this basically comes down to where he gets traded is where you think he's going to get that max contract from.
Should we just say if he gets traded, will he re-sign with that team or will he not re-sign?
Depends on
with
who he
that
gets
team?
traded to. Like if he gets traded to Atlanta, then yeah, I think he'd resign. If he gets traded to like Pistons, then no.
But Pistons, no way we ever trade for him. I think he gets traded to the Mavericks. I think he re-signs the same way that Kyrie did. I think he re-signs because there's no state tax in Dallas. In Texas. So I think, yeah, that's a good deal if you're a free agent. I mean, if you sign the max deal, the government's or the state's not going to come steal all your money.
That's just a New York thing, isn't it?
Nah, state tax, I think Dallas, no, why does he keep saying Dallas? Texas, Florida, I'm pretty sure don't have state tax or one of the taxes. But yeah, other
Isn't
states,
New York like the worst?
California and New York are the worst for it.
I think New Zealand's pretty bad for it too, actually.
Shout out Chris Luxon.
Love that.
Shut up, the horse.
Oh man.
No, it was Tex Tinder, bro. Tex Tinder comes out and takes all my money.
Yeah, no, now she's now at least Nationals, Internationale is gonna do something for us, hopefully. Otherwise, AU, here we come, baby. Dunk Dynasty on tour. We're going to Australia.
Facts.
Facts.
I go live in like, I don't know, Vietnam or something and just like live cheap as.
Or Vietnam or Thailand. Wait, wouldn't mind it, bro.
Like
you wouldn't mind it for like a week.
Like I sell fish at the fish markets.
Bro,
I don't think I could do the food.
Off the grid, bro. You'd be off the grid. No one even live the rest of your life chilling, man.
I don't think I could do the food over in like Asia.
Bro, how about you just man up, eh? That's all you need
What
to
do. Trey, what do you even eat, bro? I guarantee you all you eat is just fish and chips or something. Like,
nah, bro, just eats steaks, bro. He doesn't eat anything else. Just eats red meat and carb.
I could go to America because they got like mean food.
Yeah, what?
You mean just fat food? They just literally have obese people over there.
Yeah, because the food's
The reason
good.
you couldn't do Asian food is because New Zealand's top 3 obese country in the world. Like, and Asia's not. It's the only reason you couldn't go there. You'd be living off small portions.
They've got vegetables in all their foods, bro. So you'd be having you'd be healthy eating, have your 5+ a day.
Well, I'm not fat, but yeah, I don't know, like fast food, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, on the way to becoming fat.
Density count of sugar. That's what you
bro's,
just like.
Bro's the number 1 Wendy's customer.
I actually don't get Wendy's though.
Oh, Wendy's pretty cheeks. I reckon a bit of Carl's Jr., big burgers, don't mind that.
Nah, KFC.
Yeah. Cheeks. KFC's got cheeks burgers.
Gee, do you know how much calories you're intaking
I don't get burgers from KFC. I get chicken from KFC.
You realize what job he does? Bro works outside, like inside out. He's got physical jobs, so that calories come off instantly. And he's only, 21? Yeah, calories come off instantly.
Yeah, to be fair. You gotta start watching your cholesterol though.
Yeah, bro. You could be a cardiac arrest at 40 or 50, bro. Like MJ.
Probably.
Damn. Now we move on to the player options. The key player options, which are obviously we talked about them a little bit, but so we got LeBron James, got a player option, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Drew Holiday, and OG. So we'll start off with LeBron. What do we think LeBron's going to do? Opt in or opt out?
Depends on what Bronny does, man.
I'm going to say opts out unless the Lakers draft Bronny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think everyone's going to say the exact same thing.
I think he opts out, but I think he opts out, and I think he re-signs, but on a lot restructured deal that's not as high, because I think Bronny's not going to declare. So I think he's either going to sign a 1-year deal, and that's going to be his last year. Whatever happens, I think next year will be LeBron's last year as a Laker. So I think he opts out, Well, there's no point in restructuring then, is there? Because they can trade
There's
pieces.
no point in opting out then if Bonnie doesn't
Nah.
declare.
So he's opting in. One more year as a Laker.
Yeah.
He's opting in. Final year as a Laker. Final year to try to win a championship. Yeah. No, that's
Unless he
LeBron
opts out, signs a $20 million contract, and they use the money to get somebody else.
Yeah, which they can't do because they'll be trading for like Levine or someone. But unless there's like someone massive who becomes available for trade, yeah, and they got room. But they'll have no pieces if they trade for a Levine or DeJounte Murray. But yeah, so I'm gonna say he opts. I'm gonna say he opts back in and takes his $52 million. Oh no, $49 million contract, basically $50 million contract.
He doesn't need the money, man. Just opt out, sign a $10 million contract, and just move on.
That's what I think. If you're a billionaire at this point, obviously, $50 million is a lot of money, but bro, you make how much money through Nike? Just go win a ring by taking less money, and boom, Bob's your
Imagine as a team signing LeBron on a vet min.
Bro.
50 million still 5% not 5%.
Yeah, it is
right. Yeah, that's
5%. Yeah.
5% of $1 billion, so it's still quite a good chunk.
Yeah, it's a lot, but I'm just thinking long term. Like LeBron's gonna make all that. He's gonna make so much money after his career as well because he got lifetime deal with Nike. He's got the Spring Hill production company. He's got brand deal after brand deal. He's good to go. Like think about it. If you're LeBron at this point, the only thing that really only matters is just winning championships. Him scoring more points, getting more rebounds, getting more assists doesn't matter. The only two things really is just play with your son or winning another championship. So put yourself, in my opinion, from LeBron, put yourself in the best position to do both of those things, which is opt out. If you opt out, yeah, but I think you opt back in for the Lakers one more year. The Lakers, they know it's that final year. They go all out, trade everything, don't give a fuck, and boom, Bob's your uncle. See if you can win.
If I'm LeBron, the only thing on my mind right now is getting 40,000 points.
Trade just locks that 40,000 for 40K because you're only like 500 points left now, something like that.
500 points.
Crazy. Which takes us on to the double dynamic duo for the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. What do we think they do? Opt in or opt out?
It's like what we said before. It just depends on how the playoffs go.
Yeah.
Like let's just say the Clippers go on and win the championship, they're gonna opt in.
What will they do? Opt in and
they might. To be fair, they might opt out anyway, and then get in and then sign something else, sign an extension or something. They might just or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
unless because what they'll be 34. If they opt in, they'll be 34 when they come up for that next max deal. Unless you opt out and then sign the max deals now. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. But I think they both opt in as well. I think they just opt in for one final, especially if they do win. Even if they do lose, I think for a guy like Kawhi, maybe with the health, he's improved a lot more this year, but I think maybe with the health issues, he might opt in, just take the money and then get the max.
Yeah, signing a new contract for both those two, they're not going to get this. They're not going to get that much.
Yeah.
It's 44 mil.
Yeah, 44.
Yeah, so they're not going to get that much signing another deal.
I think Kawhi will get. I think Kawhi will get another. I think Kawhi will get a 4-year.
They're going to get another max.
Yeah, he'll get another max. I reckon. Yeah, it'll be 33 or 34, right?
34. Another 4-year max for Kawhi. No, but I don't think he will because he'll just Kawhi. I think Kawhi's only got a couple more years left in, and he's done. Like I just don't think he wants to keep playing. Like he's only going to play for 3 years probably. Then he's just going to retire.
It's facts. I reckon.
I think it's like that thing that Ethan was saying. We just think everyone's gonna be like LeBron when it's not actually the case. Not everyone maybe actually wants to play till they're 40.
Like same with I think Paul George is probably one of the most realistic players that he's going to keep playing until he's like 42. Like I think Paul George probably will play for ages. He's going to do like a Paul Pierce and just try to get like one of those like play like
farewell tools.
All these like teams to sign, player swaps and stuff, but like they don't like him like that.
I think PG is going to have one of the greatest transitions into. I think his game is well built to transition into being a really good sixth man because he's like, I think coming off the bench, especially when he gets to like, let's say 3 years from now, I think he's going to transition to a great sixth man because he can give you a great scoring punch off the bench.
Imagine 3 years from now, PG playing for the Thunder behind like some of that talent as a sixth man coming in playing 20 minutes a game, averaging 18 points a game probably.
I think PG will win a ring. I've got no doubt about it. He'll win a ring in his career at some point. I've got full confidence because even if he doesn't do it as the number 2 guy, he'll do it as a 6th man.
Yeah.
And then we get to the Celtics. Drew Holiday. Does Drew Holiday opt in or opt out?
You'll opt in.
Yeah, I got opt in as well. Just purely because no one's going to pay Drew Holiday any sort of money after seeing what he's done this season.
Well,
and plus 33 million. No one else is paying.
He's almost the 6th option on that team because I don't even consider Al Horford as a better option than him.
At some points. He's still a good defender, but for no other teams paying 33 million, yeah. So the best thing for him to do, I think, is business-wise, you got to opt in, surely.
Mm.
And then we've got the man who's got traded, OG Anunoby. $18 million at the moment, but I think he's definitely going to opt out and go get that max like we were talking about before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he's going to pursue his porn career.
I think he'll go sign with Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, yeah, because they'll have money, after the get rid of. Wee.
I think you'll have an OG Embiid, Maxey, Tobias Harris on a lower contract. And I think that's what will happen.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. Okay.
And they'll go pick up probably somebody that's available. I think Christian Wood's available, isn't he? Available.
I think he's on a 1-year deal, yeah, so he'll be available.
Yeah. So I think they'll go get somebody like him to pair with Oubre and Marcus Morris and stuff on the bench, and I think they'll be solid. I think next year Philadelphia 76ers win the chip.
You might be right because the 76ers don't have anyone on the team this year that can just ruin the team like James Harden and
yeah,
they need someone like Christian Wood. Yeah, that's a shout.
No, Christian Wood's been good. He's been on his best behavior over there in LA.
Yeah, but also Christian Wood's not a bad player.
Yeah, he's
not a bad player, but just the shit he says and stuff is like.
Yeah. I think his attitude's improved. I think he'll be a good addition, especially he knows he's on his last chance, last warning in the NBA. I don't think he's going to be in the mood to cause trouble.
Yeah.
But these people are dumb.
Yeah, like trying to play around with your dog. That's a freaking attack dog, Aaron Gordon.
Well, you've been told, don't pull out guns on live stream. 2 weeks later,
shoot him up.
What are you doing?
Which takes us to who do you think will win the 2024 NBA championship?
Are we doing it like biased or non-biased?
You have to be whatever you want. You pick it. You're gonna if you be biased and you pick someone, you'll get clipped.
No, I think realistically it's probably be the Celtics.
Okay.
I'm going back-to-back Nuggets.
Who gets home court advantage would be Celtics are well ahead. That's one thing I didn't think about when I said the Nuggets were going to win because they won't have home advantage anymore.
Well, there's still 15 games left in the season, pretty much.
But damn,
the Celtics haven't had injuries yet. The injuries will come and then.
No, they have. I mean, not major injuries, but they've had guys in the lineup. Like Jaylen Brown was out, Drew Holiday was out, Porzingis was out. The only guy who's missed many games is Tatum, I'm pretty sure, and Derek White.
Derek White's missed 2 games in the last 2 years, and that's for the birth of his children.
He's a freak. I love him, bro. He's always available. Always makes
it's the three most available players in the NBA is Ivica Zubac, Mikal Bridges, and Derek White.
Yeah, these guys are all best ability is availability. That's always got to be the one. So you've got Trey. No, Ethan said Celtics. Who you got, Trey?
Nuggets
back to back.
Back to back.
Who can guard Jokic on that team? No one. Back to back.
As Jokic said, never count out the fat boy.
Yeah.
The Celtics have been close the last couple of years. Like, they're gonna win it.
I'm gonna go.
Experience. They've added depth. They've added defense. They're gonna win it.
But I keep on tying it down to the same fact. I'm like, who's going to guard Jokic? That's all. That's all I think about.
Tatum?
Huh?
Who's going to guard Tatum?
Aaron Gordon. I know he's not. I
His
mean,
left
he's not.
hand.
No. You didn't let me
Who's
finish
going
my
to guard
point.
Jalen Brown?
You didn't. He's not going to.
Jalen Brown's left hand is going to guard him.
Yeah, Jalen Brown. I've seen him in the playoffs.
Who's going to guard Porzingis?
Oh, that's a good
Porzingis
point.
will be injured, bro.
But Porzingis shoots the ball well. I mean, like I said, it's. I think the best series, without a doubt, for the fans would be Nuggets versus Celtics. I think they'll go 7. And I think Celtics would have advantage because if they go 7, they would be at home. All things remaining the same going forward this season, if they can maintain number 1 seed. Well, yeah, I'd say I got Celtics Nuggets NBA Finals, and I've got Nuggets in. I got Nuggets in 6 games, and then Ethan's got Celtics, and Trey's got the Nuggets as well.
I got Celtics in 5 probably.
Oh, that's even more bold. Yeah, that's a good prediction. I like that.
I think the Celtics are so far ahead in the East, it's not even funny. Like Philly's probably second, and Philly are a year away.
Nah, I reckon Philly can cause some trouble in the playoffs.
What?
I reckon Philly can cause some trouble in the playoffs.
As
Against
I said
the Celtics.
before, the best predictor of the future is the past. I've seen them in the playoffs 6 years in a row doing the same thing every single time. No,
True.
Philly aren't doing anything in the playoffs.
Yeah, sure. But I just don't want to see the Celtics win.
Imagine if the Celtics win and Devin Booker was to be MVP next year. I think we'll never hear from Trey ever again. I think he'll be done with NBA basketball.
Devin Booker getting MVP.
Watch the Wizards go up and win a championship next year.
Yep.
Mate, if I see a championship in my lifetime, I'll be happy.
And then the last one, boys, your one bold NBA prediction for 2024.
What'd you say?
Your one bold prediction for the NBA in 2024, something that you think is going to happen. Bold prediction.
All right, there's going to be a superstar that's going to get traded.
Yeah, well, obviously it's the NBA, but bold prediction, you got to be bold with it.
Bold as it's going to be Kyrie Irving for Pascal Siakam.
An NBA player gets hit by a car.
Crazy.
I reckon go even bolder than that. I'm going to go even bolder. An NBA player is going to get attacked by a dog.
I'm going bolder.
An NBA player
gets accused of. The NBA player gets accused sleeping with a minor.
So I reckon I can do even better than that. An NBA player gets released from his team for having sexual relations with a staff member.
What? Who's
Josh
that?
Primo.
NBA player joins the UFC on a 1-fight deal to fight Conor McGregor at UFC 300. Draymond Green. You're welcome. I set it up. Dana White hit me up. I've set you up your main event. Draymond Green versus Conor McGregor, UFC 300.
No, you want to know the biggest take?
Yeah.
Zion gets traded in 2024. So it could be like this season or start of next season.
Yep.
Or the off season.
I like it.
The biggest one is that Lonzo Ball never plays basketball again.
Oh. Lonzo Ball never playing basketball would be interesting, but even more interesting than that, I'm going to say the Don requests the trade from the Dallas Mavericks, Luka Doncic. After the Mavericks flop in the playoffs, Luka is going to demand a trade.
To the Nuggets.
No, anywhere. He's going to demand a trade. He's going to want out. Especially now with Mark Cuban gone, they're going to have a new owner in there. I think Luka's going to look at it and say...
Isn't Cuban still got basketball operations or something?
Yeah, he's still operating it, but he's not like the main owner anymore. I mean, he still owns a little bit.
He still makes the final call, though.
But he's going to make the final call on who they get for Luka because Luka would demand a trade. That's my bold prediction.
No,
I don't think Luka's
the best bold prediction on the planet is 100% when the OKC Thunder sign Boogie Cousins and they make the playoffs and Boogie Cousins gets Finals MVP.
Don't ever say that.
Right, that's enough for the podcast. Thanks for
Anyway, because Ethan decided to go on the worst tangent in history, that is going to be the end of episode 4, which was the year ahead, what we think is going to happen in 2024. Everyone, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Dynasty podcast. I've been Panache Shanu, Ethan McDonald, Trey Mitchell. We're signing out. See you next time for another rodeo, as the kids say. Catch us later.
See
See
ya.
you guys.